Alright, so we're back, of course, talking FF7, we're talking Rebirth. You guys already know what it is. The state of play is happening. We already knew this was coming up because of Jeff Grubb, but we did get it confirmed today. It's actually happening this Wednesday, 2 days from now, which just so happens to be January 31st. That may or may not matter because of like time zone differences and shit, obviously. The original FF7 dropped in Japan on the 31st, but that'll be tomorrow, right? Like, when it's the 30th for the majority of us, it'll be the 31st in Japan, right? So, I don't know if they would do something like in Japan on like the 30th for us when it's the 31st there, or if they'd wait to do something for the rest of us on the 31st when it's technically the 1st in Japan, right? I don't know. I suppose we should probably read the tweet really quickly. It says, get ready for a new state of play. Tune in on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok this Wednesday. Is that the first time they've done TikTok? I don't know. At 2 p.m. PT, 10 p.m. GMT for 40 minutes, covering 15-plus games, including extended looks at Stellar Blade and Rise of the Ronin, plus more from talented game developers from all around the world. Now, they don't mention Rebirth, obviously, there, or even like the little brief article they link to as well. That doesn't really matter one way or the other. I would say that like if they would mention Rebirth, it'd probably give them a little more viewers. Like the state of plays and the PlayStation showcases are always like very, very popular. Hundreds of thousands, upwards of millions sometimes can watch that shit depending. So they're going to be fine in terms of viewership. But like if you say the Rebirth is going to be there, like it's like by far, I think right now, the most anticipated game in 2024. So like that would just bring in viewers if they knew that they were going to get something for Rebirth there. But maybe they want to try to keep it a surprise, even though we're all expecting something there. 40 minutes is massive, man. That's almost like a showcase, right? It's kind of crazy because a lot of these like state of plays can be like 15, 20 minutes, some maybe upwards of like close to 30 minutes sometimes. But they're shooting for like a 40-minute state of play. That's pretty crazy. I don't know what all the other games are going to be there. I don't really care. I don't give a shit. I'm just here for Rebirth. God damn it. It also seems like something's happening the next day or so, right? I see people that got to go to like the LA event recently for Rebirth that are sharing the state of play, like kind of hyping it up, and they're like exclusively like FF7 content creators, right? So it seems like maybe they might be in the know potentially. Regardless, something's happening soon. And I hope it's the demos. They got to announce the demos. What are we doing? My God, it's taking forever. If we just look to like the remake stuff, like Remake's demo is out about 5 weeks before release. So we're already like closer to Rebirth, no demo, than we were with like remaking their demo, right? So it's just like, come on, man, we just want to fucking play the game. I talked in the past about not being sure what they're going to do about if we get one demo or both demos, if they're going to space them out. I don't know. I assume we're going to get both, but I don't know for sure. Like, I just don't care. Just give me one of them. Give me half of one of them. Actually, speaking of that, like LA event with that like 4-hour session that people got to play, like I wonder when that's gonna, like the embargo, the NDA, whatever is gonna lift on that, where they can talk about it, versus us potentially getting like a demo release in the next couple days potentially, or at the very least them talking about like a release day, release window for when the demos are gonna drop. It's all gonna like, it's gonna be a busy ass month going forward, dude. Like February 1st to the 29th, it's probably just gonna be a shit ton of stuff. We still have a final trailer that's going to drop at some point that's probably going to be very spoilery, which I know some people want to avoid. People talked about it in my comments multiple times, like they're going to kind of skip out on this like last little stretch of marketing, and that's perfectly fine, dude. I'm going to cover this because that's what I do with this YouTube channel here. We try to cover literally everything that we can about the game. And I'm willing to go almost into spoiler territory for myself just to cover it for everybody else as well, right? I don't mind like watching all the trailers and shit and getting things spoiled. Like it doesn't affect me at all. It's not going to affect my playthrough in the absolute slides. They could show Sephiroth cutting off Aerith's head. Actually might affect it a little bit. The point though, I'm not somebody that's like affected by spoilers so much. Like there's things I can complain about. Like I've complained about them showing like Bear getting stabbed and teasing Zack and stuff with like the previous trailers for Remake, but it doesn't necessarily affect my playthrough. It would have been better to have that like surprise reveal of Zack, of course, but it's still like an exciting moment. Regardless, if there's something tomorrow at the State of Play, whatever, we'll talk about it. We'll do a reaction if there's like a trailer of some sorts at the State of Play. However they're going to do it, regardless, we'll cover it. Anyways, that's the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Search in the description below. Follow me on Twitter, _DavidYT. That's it. Bye.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Logain, or leave it like Cobain.